Both. The one thing we think somebody can present is about 10 inches, so we got snowed in. So, fantastic. We didn't think we could have Now you're going to be on.
Good morning and Happy New Year. And I want to say that one of the best things about starting the meeting up here, being up here, starting the meeting, is that I live and work in a place where people are so excited to get here and talk to each other that you almost feel rude for interrupting and starting the meeting on time. So that's a really good thing. I mean, it's lovely, it's wonderful that we have such a good camaraderie that everybody gets here and wants to talk to their friends and all that kind of stuff, talk about business. There's so much stuff going on here that if you were just a fly on the wall, you could learn just about anything you need to know about real estate in 10 minutes before this meeting starts, which is pretty amazing and a great testament to all you guys. But welcome to our team meeting this week. Welcome to the new year as well. And we are excited to get going with you. We have a great meeting planned for you today. We're very excited about it. To kick off a great year of all kinds of fun stuff. Karina, I am almost out of battery, so at some point I may need you to do the clicker. How about that for fun? But with that in mind, let's move forward. Our purpose here is to serve agents and impact lives. And that is across the board. As part of the leadership team, our job is to serve our agents and impact your lives. And in turn, you can impact the lives of those around you throughout your communities, throughout your homes, throughout all of the places you are. And it's such an important thing. And I think to be impactful is one of the things that we really, truly value. And we're glad to have you here today and help us live out our purpose through you. Our mission is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. And I don't think you can sum up what you really want to do better than that. I mean, really, at the end of the day, that is a fantastic mission for a business to have. We're proud to have you part of that mission. Our values here at KWPR are culture and God's family business in that exact order. As a testament to that, my good friend Jamie, who, if you don't know, has some illness right now. He is at home taking care of himself, because that's what you got to do when you're under the weather a little bit. And he's not just under the weather, but the weather's like literally pushing him down. So he's not here today. Integrity, we believe in doing the right thing. And if you have to ask, it's probably not the right thing. So do the thing that you don't have to ask about. Impact, we strive to freely of our time and talents to positively influence lives. Again, impact, so important. And growth, we encourage a strong work ethic, plus consistency, systems, models, and tools to achieve results. Just want to point out, for those of you who are recovering perfectionists, perfection is nowhere in growth. It's not in there. Consistency, however, is. And our goal is to deliver a return $1 million in profit share in the year 2030. And that's a big goal, and we need all of your help to achieve that. And this last year has been a great kick start to that process. And we're excited to talk about that, because in order for our profit share to grow, we need to bring on new agents and help them grow in their business. And today we're going to be talking with some of the newest agents that we brought on and talk about their business, what attracted them to Keller Williams, why they're here, and what they've gained in the time that they've been here. So we're excited to bring that to you. Play of the week. Holy cats, that's Jenny. Let's play a little bit about what Jenny did. And we all have people near and dear to us who we miss even more during this time of year. And he wrote this around Christmas time. How many people use this as an opportunity to take action in their memory? Well, Jenny did. It was 10 years ago since she lost someone dear to her due to PTSD. She's kept his spirit alive again this year by organizing a drive that led to the creation of 78 meaningful Christmas gifts this year through your help and your generosity. And again, how do we spread those things out? And these folks were at the Minnesota Veterans Home. Way to go, Jenny. Jenny did all this while going way above and beyond for preferred agents as their transaction coordinator, serving her own real estate agents at a high level of her clients, being the mama of two handsome fellas and enjoying life with her husband, Corey. She also added lots of encouraging holiday cheer by encouraging us all to decorate our doors, which is a new tradition I hope that we can continue.
Yay, that was so much fun.
Happy job, Jenny. Play of the week. Our most recent player is John Rohan, who is known for his willingness to drop everything he's doing to help people in need. His most recently seen serving with the Goodhue County Christmas Project, getting and delivering Christmas gifts to family, which he does every year. John is often seen lending a helping hand at the Red Wing Food Shelf, and he does this while leading an industry-leading real estate team, serving as the president of his congregation, head of the church board, and has recently taken ownership of new investment property this year. He donates his time and equipment for groups and organizations needing sound systems, apparently including karaoke, where he is quite the karaoke fella. So I think that might be interesting. We should do something in his honor to see that. Where you see John light up the most is when he's talking about his family, Isaac and Abby, and how vital they are to the success of RedWingHomesForSale.com team. Let's give it up for John. All right, MCA, Karina, that's you. Tell us about the thing.
Oh, thanks. So Monday, everybody received an email. The title was Happy New Year, let's update your 2025 agent information. Please take the moment to fill that information out on the Google form. There's a link there. You can also scan that QR code and it'll bring it right to the Google form. The information that we're needing is wanting to know about your 1099, if we can deliver that to you electronically or if we have to mail that. We do have to have your permission to do that electronically, so if you don't give me permission to do that, you're getting it in the mail.
You mean the snail mail?
That's snail mail, so if you don't get it, talk to USPS. Good luck with that. This is also some information about making sure that if we have your LLC, we have that information so that we can put that correctly in our system to making sure that you're being paid as your LLC and getting your 1099 as your LLC and not just your personal name and account, if that's the case. So please fill it out when you have time. It takes 5 minutes to do, maybe less than that. And if you have any questions, I'm here all day, let me know. Thanks.
Cool, that's super important, very useful at this time of year as we're talking through that stuff. So make sure you take the time. I saw Quincy's with his phone up, and I'm not going to ask everybody to put their phone up and trick me this time, but keep in mind when you see those are a great idea. Put your phone up and figure out what's going on. All right, with that in mind, my good friend Melissa coming on down, talking about things and stuff.
Happy New Year.
Hey, can you start out by bringing us all down and talking about what could happen to us if we did something bad?
That's what I'm going to do.
We won't be brought down at
You
all.
will not be brought down. No,
That's
you
what
will
I'm
not be
talking
brought
about.
down. I just want to wish everyone a Happy New Year, especially those of you who did your code of ethics on New Year's Eve. I mean, there might be a couple of you in the room, just saying. It's annoying, right? Doesn't it feel super annoying to learn that you have to do that class last minute? Frustrating, annoying. But I'm standing in front of you today to remind you it's not just an annoyance. It's a really, really important part of our business. We are realtors. We do a good job. We have Keller Williams integrity, and it's really important that we treat our clients, our customers, and the general public with ethics and integrity. So it's really, really essential that you take that class, and you're going to have to take it once every 3 years. So next time you see it offered, please just sign up for it, take it, and get it out of the way so that you're not taking it again on New Year's Eve. I just want to remind you, we are kind of a self-governing group of realtors, and if something has happened where there's a code of ethics violation, either your fellow realtor or a consumer can file an ethics complaint against you. You can also do the same with them. But I want you to know it is to be taken very seriously by the Association of Realtors. There are fines up to $15,000. Can you imagine? There's also complete suspension or termination of your license for up to 1 year. And there's also losing access to the MLS for up to 30 days. Can you imagine if you thought about yourself and didn't think about the larger public, didn't think about the other people involved in the transaction, and you lost your way of conducting business for 30 days? That would be absolutely terrible. So I don't want to bring you down. So therefore, I plan to do something a little bit fun too. One of my New Year's resolutions is I am going to eat the elephant one bite at a time, as we say up here every now and then, and I'm going to be better at social media. So that means I'm not going to log on every 2 weeks and comment and like on every single post. Instead, I'm going to log on for just a little bit every single day. So help me in social media today. I'm going to do a little post, and you guys are going to be in it. So we're going to do a practice round, then we're going to do a final round. So I want you to think about yourself and how you conduct your business, and I want you to think bigger. I want you to think bigger goals. I want you to think bigger about who you're impacting. I want you to think bigger about those little times that you actually walk up to a door 15 minutes before your showing time window has scheduled. You need to think bigger. You need to do it ethically. You need to do it right. You can't be cutting corners. Think bigger. So I'm going to record a little video, and you guys are going to say, think bigger. Then I'm going to tell you if you think, if it's like fairly good or really good, and you're probably going to have to record it a second time, okay? So is everyone ready?
If we forget what to say, can we just read the back wall?
It's on the back wall. It's on the back wall.
All back here.
Okay, so I've got hang on, I should put my glasses on because I'm really not very tech savvy, so.
Do you want Bryce to do it for you so you can be in the video?
Oh, maybe, sure.
I can do that.
All right, thank you. Okay.
So that you can be in it.
What do you think I should say something? Or should I just sit?
You should just.
I should just sit here and be in it. Oh, okay, perfect.
Do you want to use your phone? I didn't bring my phone.
I think I'm on photo right now. I think we need to.
Yeah.
Like
For practice.
Okay. No, it's just.
One practice,
I'm really not
one
good at
real
this.
thing. Okay, I'll start over here.
Okay, ready? Everyone, 1, 2, 3.
Big
Woo!
Okay.
Now that I like. Okay, one more time and we're all gonna go. Okay, this is about your ethics. This is about your integrity. We're doing it bigger and better. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Thank you, everyone. Nailed it.
Yeah. Really good idea.
There we go, we are thinking bigger now. We are all over it, and you'll see that on social media. And the cool thing about social media is, when you see it, you can share it too. How about that? Now, just keep it moving. Because that means that the thing gets more views all around and it talks about your business. And as Jamie likes to talk about, social media is so important, and your ability to be seen by your clients and not be responsible for the post, but sharing other things is a fantastic way to do that. And sharing that you're investing in yourself is a great way to get out to them too. So, thank you, Melissa. We've got thinking bigger on our mind right now. And with that in mind, oh no, she's gotten smaller. Toddy. Well, you used to be bigger when you were carrying a baby, but now you've gotten smaller.
Well,
not carrying a baby. So,
Now the baby is quite large.
Thank you.
you bet. Always happy to help.
Hello, everyone. I'm back this time and I know what's going on now. Okay, so here's a quick layout of some highlighted January events. I'm gonna go over all of them, so we're gonna skip this one for now. We have Tech Savvy Realtor with Jason Arpson, and that's on Thursday, January 9th at 10 a.m. in the training room. And the theme for this whole year is honing in on 36 Touch. So Jason's gonna kick that off with a class on 36 Touch. Okay.
Not on Zoom, not on Zoom. But on the 16th and on the 16th, we'll be on Zoom, but not in person.
Oh, yes. Okay. We are in works of scheduling an actual date for this. We're working with Mike Brennan from Minnesota Realty School, and he called me today and gave me a few dates that we're going to schedule, and he forgot to give me a price, so he's circling back with me on that today. But we are having CE Blitz hosted here for 2 days for your simple, easy convenience. So really there's no excuse that we don't get it done. Okay, so you're gonna come and you're gonna show up and you're gonna sit here for 2 days and you're gonna be very entertained by the required module. and then probably like 14, 13 other hours of CE. And you're gonna bang it out in 2 days and you'll be done, we're gonna move on.
Yay!
Yay, it'll be really good. So that is coming, probably end-ish of April, maybe March. We're working on it, but we don't want it to overlap with any spring breaks or anything like that. So, that's coming soon, just so you know. Okay, this one I'm really excited about, and so is Misha. I don't know how many of you have seen Misha. She does like this Food Friday. Some of her choices are questionable, but I'm doing it with her, so it'll be good. And this is the very first one. We're kicking it off at Bryce. I think that's how you say it. But I've been there and it's really good. And basically everyone is just gonna come that wants to come, and we hope to see a lot of you there. But if you could sign up so that we know how many to make a reservation for, and it's gonna be once a month. It's kind of a spin-off on the Brady Brunch Club, but brunch didn't work great for people, so now we're gonna do it on like a Thursday evening. So if you have any questions about it or wanna sign up, you can find the sign up link on KWPR dashboard on the calendar. And you can also email or text Misha or I, and we hope to see you there. Okay, this is the Melissa's slide. This one is being hosted by Melissa Johnson. And this is don't get fined, get compliant. So we've had a lot of people ask, like, what should I be having on my social media posts so that I'm not getting fined? You know, what's compliant with social media? Melissa's gonna go over all of that stuff and give you a lot of other compliancy things, and it will be a really great class. And you can get just a lot of questions answered that, you know, maybe you don't think about all the time. The other one is being hosted by Melissa Lombard, and for those of you who don't know who she is, she was one of our former team leaders. She's super awesome, and she left to go be a missionary. Thank you. I was gonna say military, that's not it. And she's teaching Essentials to Crush It in Real Estate, and she is just such a fabulous human, and I hope that you can go to that class. Whether you're a new agent, experienced agent, whatever it is, I'm sure that it's going to be a great class. So if you want a description of that, that's also on the calendar. Okay, is anyone signed up for this? Okay, there should be 9 hands in the air because there's 9 people signed up.
2 minutes ago.
Okay, great, awesome. Okay, so I am going to force you to take out your phones and sign up for this right now.
Right now.
Because I know all of you want to be there, Jason. Have you signed up?
I will be.
Okay.
Well, someone might have formed.
Okay, well, maybe. This is gonna be so fun. I was sending Olivia some outfit recommendations for her this morning, and I think she's gonna look fabulous as usual. I found my outfit, Grace has hers.
Right, me too.
Perfect. Oh yeah, no, I'm not sending anyone else any. But it's gonna be really, really fun. So just to clarify, you can either come in like your overalls, honky tonk, weird looking stuff, or you can play like a little bit more to the CMA vibe, you know, glitzy, glammy, whatever, all of it's welcome, or you can come in your everyday attire because you can also walk around Nashville like that. So whatever you would like to wear is welcome. But that is like kind of, you know, what we're going for. We are having a live piano bar as the entertainment. So this is confusing, but it's like dueling pianos but with one person. So I don't know how to explain that besides like that. But it's gonna be really fun, and you can do music requests, and apparently he's really funny. We're having a pasta bar for dinner, and the whole night is just gonna be really great. So we can't wait to have you all there. Yes.
Where's it at?
It is at the Wyndham Burnsville, which is right across the street. Okay? Okay. Oh. Okay.
There's the press
This
recommendation.
is what Olivia's wearing, apparently. And Colin.
I like the gloves.
So if you want to know how to dress, it's right here. Okay, and last but not least, I think, is family reunion. This is coming up, and that's super exciting. February 17th through the 21st in Vegas. And the keynote speaker is Jamie Kern Lima, and she is the, I think, founder of It Cosmetics, and she was L'Oreal's first female CEO. So that's just one of the highlights of one of the keynote speakers. The keynote speakers every year at Family Reunion are usually pretty crazy good and you come out with a lot of really amazing ahas and nuggets and all that stuff. So that's just one of the reasons to go to family reunion. So we hope to see some of you there. If you wanna get a ticket or anything like that, you can do that just on the Keller Williams.
You Google Keller Williams Family Reunion 2025, it'll bring you right to it.
Yeah,
Or
Yep.
just ask.
or just ask. Yeah, I think that's my last slide. Yeah.
Thanks,
I will take a minute and just talk a little bit more about Family Reunion if you've never been there before. It's a 4-day event. There are a number of fantastic breakout sessions that cover every element of the real estate business. So no matter what stage of your career you're in or what you're looking to do next, there will be someone at some point talking about how to do that. There are an amazing number of people who show up from all over the country and really all over the world to participate in the event. It's a great time every year, and it's a great time to learn how to grow your business and meet other agents. So there are some agents who go there for the express purpose of building out their referral tree and meeting other agents from across the country that they can get referrals from and give referrals to. So, I mean, there's something for everybody at Family Reunion, and if you haven't been, I really recommend it. It's a great time. With that in mind, though, I'm going to bring up another great time. My good friends, Bryce and Brian. That's right, Bryce and Brian, today to talk about the mortgage lending business and how that impacts you as a realtor. New American Funding.
I was gonna say Happy New Year to everybody. It seems like you've been extending it out to.
Very good. Through. Best way to get over a hangover, brother.
Yes, it is. I wanted to start this year off with how we ended last year, talking about the mortgage approval process. Last time we talked about debt to income ratio, and what qualifies and what an underwriter is looking at. Today I wanted to talk about loan to value, and it's probably basic for a lot of you, but we have a lot of new agents too. Loan to value, or LTV, is basically how high of a loan can we go based off of the purchase price. The VA, or we'll start with the VA, is 0 down, so that's 100% loan to value, all right? It's the best mortgage program out there. Obviously, you need to be a veteran. I say the second best mortgage program out there is USDA or rural housing. It's a 0 down or 100% loan to value. And especially for us, we're not that far from that territory. It's 70 years ago, the government came out with a program, hey, if people are leaving the small town, going out, coming to the big city, and so these small towns are shriveling up. So as an incentive to move back out there, 0 down, all right? And 2 miles south of Farmington, 230th Street is basically the bottom quarter of Dakota and Scott County qualify. So there's a lot of, it's in our wheelhouse, so we need to be thinking about that. The next least, or loan to value, is conventional. You can go to just 3% down or 97% loan to value, all right? And you'll, 5% down, 10% down, 20% down. Those are usually conventional loan programs. You get to 20% down, it's a magic number because you can avoid mortgage insurance because it's really a low risk loan because they've got 20% of their own funds into it. And FHA is 3.5% down payment or 96.5% loan to value. So why would underwriters look at this?
It's a great question, and Brian kind of touched on it a little bit. Like you talked about with conventional, putting 20% down, 80% down, or 80% loan to value, the lower the loan to value, the lower the risk for the lender. And the value is important because, and it goes hand in hand with the appraisal, it's used to protect the buyer and the lender. And so, for example, if a borrower defaulted, there may not be sufficient funds to cover the outstanding loan balance. And so, there might not be, here's an example, there might not be a lot of value for, me if I was to purchase a home next to my parents, that's very valuable to me, but in the fair market value, there's might not be a whole lot of value. And so, But if it's listed on the MLS and it sells, it's going to appraise 9 times out of 10. And unique properties are where we run into issues because you know, the appraiser can't find comps out there. And, you know, that might be a case where it might not appraise. And so if the appraisal comes in low, you know, we're gonna use the lower of the purchase price or the appraised value. We haven't had any come in low this year so far.
Yeah.
And actually,
How many
come
have
to think of it, last year, I don't think we had any come in low at all, so, it's a good sign. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions or wanna, you know, take a mortgage 101 at a high level, you can meet with Brian and I, and we can get that scheduled for you.
Thank you.
And these two fantastic fellas, Brian and Drake, are absolutely 100% providing lunch today, so let's give them another round of applause today. We get 2 rounds of applause, one for knowledge, one for lunch. Makes sense. All right, with that in mind, I want to introduce and have them come on up our panel today, where we're going to talk about why they chose KWPR and get to the bottom of that stuff, and why they're here and what they're learning and what they're growing with and why that's so important. And as we kick off this year and really try to focus on how we can grow the market center, understanding why people are coming and what they're getting here is so valuable and so important. So with that in mind, Lance, come on down. You have a fantastic seat up here. As the first guy, you get to pick a chair, so it's a great place to be. Maria McDonald-Zang, come on down. Bryce and Brian, come on up.
We don't want to know.
I love it. I know you do.
It does, it looks like a dating meeting.
Maria and her boys.
I know, Melanie just looks like she's on the
What's gonna happen?
That was fun. I bet you picked Lance.
Yeah, Bryce, you got the chair.
So you're kind of the Jimmy Fallon of the deal?
Yeah, actually that's a really good one, because I'm nowhere near as professional as some of those other folks. Jimmy Fallon is exactly the right thing. I will laugh at my own jokes and be completely disruptive. Perfect, we've got the right mood, we've got the mood set. But I do want to start out, we just kind of go right down the panel, right straight down the line initially. And if you could, Lance, start out with just giving us a brief background of your real estate career. What does that look like? Where were you before you were there?
Well, I've been doing this for 27 years, almost going on 28 years pretty soon. And, I started out with Coldwell Banker, back when it was Coldwell Banker, actually when it was Burnett Realty, then shifted to Coldwell Banker Burnett. And then from there I went to where I met Maria. I went to Berkshire Hathaway Home Services 7 years ago, a long time ago. And then, I don't know when we came over here in July. End of July, beginning of August, something like that, decided to make the shift and come to KW.
Excellent. And what was it that, why did you choose here? Because you had a lot of options. Oh, you had fantastic, a bunch of options. What made you choose here?
So for me, I'm kind of a contrarian with this whole thing of, you can sell real estate from home and you can work from home and do that. I get this business allows us that opportunity when we need to be at home to work from home. But the reality is this is a people person business, and there's training every day just by coming in the office and meeting people. So that was big for me, the whole kind of office environment. And frankly, a lot of the companies, as you all know, the bigger companies are shrinking office space. They're trying to push agents home. And we've got several companies that have opened here in the Twin Cities now over the past several years that are totally internet based. There's nothing. And so this was when I came over to tour the office, this was a big surprise to me. This felt like the way a real estate company should be for me. Just there's people here every day. You know, and I can tell you, the last company I was at, our offices were vacant. I can tell you, Coldwell Banker offices, for the most part, are vacant. And so that was a big selling point for me was just the environment of this office.
Thank you. Brian, tell us a little bit about your journey in real estate.
So this is the start of my 4th year. I was a teacher for 18 years, which was really fun for a while. So I teach real estate now, so that's my new teaching career. So choosing KW it took me a while to officially choose here, but I would say that my mind was probably made up rather quickly after meeting with Olivia and Jamie. I'm a huge culture person, so I've had really good leaders in education, and I've had some leaders that I wanted to bury in my backyard. I didn't, yeah, just so you know, I didn't do it. That would be an ethics violation. Right, Melissa? Yeah, I was thinking bigger there, yeah. Anyways, I don't know, I walked in here and it just felt like home almost immediately. And the previous company that I was with, it never really felt that way. I would go into the office and I hated being there, and I really am a work from home person. I mean, I had an 8 to 4 or 8 to 5 where I had to be in class every day, and I had, I love the freedom of being able to do what I need to do. No one needs to tell me to get to work. It's just instinctive. So I love working from home, but there's a lot of days I wake up and I'm like, I really have to be here. Like, this culture is just infectious. I just absolutely love it. And the biggest thing that stuck with me is when Jason said, our leadership team, you don't work for us, we work for you. And that was just, I was like, oh my God, yes, you guys get it. You guys get it, and I just love it. I can just sense the atmosphere, the culture, and just the minute I walk in, and I just love it. Did I answer your question? Okay, good.
Appreciate that. Very thorough. Bryce, tell us a little bit about your journey.
I'm going into my 7th year of real estate. My second career, my first career was in law enforcement, so I was a police officer for 5 years and kind of stayed within that realm after I left law enforcement and went into the corporate world and did kind of security management and stuff like that until I decided one day that I was kind of done with anything related to security or law enforcement, got into real estate because my dad's an investor, never sold it, but that's what he's been doing his whole life, so I've been around real estate my whole life. I interviewed every company under the sun when I became a new agent, and I ended up at RE/MAX. RE/MAX was great for 6 years, but there was something that just kind of itched at me, and that was the constant itching of Olivia and
There's creams for that.
It was like no creams work. So if you can't beat them,
Talking like dry skin.
no. So I mean, they reached. I had a really good relationship with Jamie prior to him ever being at KW, and always stayed in touch with him. Became a friend where we met often and just kind of talked about the industry. And what really got me to come here was just the fact that I realized in my career when I was with RE/MAX that I kind of hit a plateau, kind of hit that flattening where I was like, I'm not happy with where I'm at in my business. I want to take it further. And the tools, the resources, the culture, just the clear definition of where we're at as a brokerage and what we believe in and the purpose and all of those things combined just made me realize that this was the place that I could do business and do it on a higher level.
Thank you. Maria.
Again, I think if anybody's been here for a little bit, I was up on a panel a couple weeks ago, so you probably heard the song and dance. I've been in real estate for 33 years, have been at multiple brokerages. My last one was at Berkshire Hathaway, had been there as a branch manager for the last 8 years or so. Enjoyed my little tiny group that I had, my people that worked with me. But about 3 years ago, Jamie reached out to me and just said, hey, are you open to just some conversation? And he and I met for coffee, And there was just an instant friendship there. You know, you kind of talk about somebody that just feels comfortable. And it's like, there's a reason people come into your lives. And then I had the opportunity to meet Olivia. And, you know, I made the joke in the ALC meeting this morning, and that was, oh, I thought she did that because she liked me. And I do think that's the case, but she is just the type, she's who I want to be. Like, I'm way older than her, but she's who I want to be. I enjoy, one thing I have lacked my entire career is being associated with people that have a very high level of integrity, of people that want to empower you as an agent to lead yourself and to motivate you and inspire you to be a better person. And that really is what spoke to me in all of this. When we at Berkshire had, you know, when they came to us and said, we are closing the doors, Berkshire will not exist anymore in Minnesota, that was a real kick in the pants for me emotionally, kind of getting to this point, thinking that that was my forever company and that was where I'd retire out of. But coming here has re-sparked a real desire to want to serve others on a level that just makes me happy. Like, I'm feeling great about getting up. There's been some time in the last couple of years where I haven't felt real great about who I worked with. And I can tell you now, and maybe it's Olivia, and maybe it's Jamie, and maybe it's Jason that has said, we acknowledge what you have as skills, and we're going to empower you to be that. And it's pretty fantastic, and I'm honored. Like, it'll make me weepy and cry because that's who I am. But I'm so honored to walk amongst you guys and to say who I work for. It's just awesome. And I am an office person too. That was part of the reason is, you know, being able to come into the office and have people here and to be able to interact and bounce things off of each other. It's phenomenal. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Thanks along for that. Cindi, are you able to join us today? Cindi has recently joined as well, but she's down in Florida right now, and she may be able to join us. She's PC.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
So I'm out on showing, so I have very limited time, but I'm trying to listen and trying to do what I can. So what's the question for me?
Awesome. Why did you come here?
Olivia, come on. It's Olivia. It's always been Olivia. No. So what's really funny is I was at Berkshire with Maria. That's how I met her. And same with others. Like, it's just one of those things that I started with Coldwell years ago, 15 years ago. Absolutely loved it. My broker left, ended up going to Prudential, which then in turn turned to Berkshire. When that broker left, I loved Berkshire. I didn't love the owner. We will completely come out and say that. And so I left and went back to Coldwell. I interviewed many places because I wanted to make sure it was the best for me. And it was just easier as well. So I went back there. I had this thing where I said I'd never go to Keller. I had my reasons. And never, ever, ever. The dumbest thing I ever did was not talk to Olivia as a real consideration. It was more so because I had a bad experience with Bold when I was with another company. I was invited. It was kind of good at the beginning, and then it was just turned into a bad experience and I quit. So when I was leaving EXP, when I got licensed in both states, I went to EXP because everything was combined in one. And so one cap, one fee for everything, no matter what I did. And so it was all combined. And I loved it. Then some things happened there I was not too thrilled about when I heard. And so I needed to start looking, but I still wanted that one cap. So called Olivia, said, hey, let's talk, legit talk this time. And yeah, her face lit up. I don't know if she's there right now, but face lit up. She was excited. Anyways, we So we did a lot of math of figuring out what can we do to make this work. She invited me to one of the meetings, So yes, I still have to have 2 brokerages, 2 franchises with Keller. I don't like that part, but I got over it because sitting there in the meeting for the first time at Keller really sealed the deal. And maybe it was because I had been out with cloud-based brokerage for so long, but it sealed the deal. Like, this was it. Like, it was everything I had been looking for, everything that I was missing out on, the training, the functions, the everything. And so then when I met with them down in Florida, I'm like, okay, you just have to come up with everything. And, Olivia and I had to come to an agreement on some things, and it all came together. And yes, I finally put it in writing that I should have done it sooner.
Well,
The training is key.
Certainly very glad you did. And since you have limited time, I'm just going to jump to you for the next question. This will be the one that's coming around the pipe. But since you've been here, what have you found real value in and are glad that you're able to implement that maybe you didn't have access to or weren't doing before?
Jason, you like the technology part of it, hands down. When I came over, I hate technology, and being able to have you as a go-to and what you do for everyone, where you can just go put it on an email and say, Cindi, here's the video, and I can go back to it as many times as I need to, has been huge. The trainings, being able, for me being in a separate state and being able to jump on a Zoom and listen to the meetings back home or some of the trainings and so forth, and still be part and still know what's going on in Minnesota because I need to, because I'm still selling there. It's been huge. Because like before I left, I didn't know how I was going to be able to make the switch, and Jason made it very easy as a transition to teach the systems. And then even down in Florida, we have some systems down here that we use where I can go onto YouTube and learn and so forth. And I don't know, I think it's been great. The other is, I don't know, I am now a productivity coach out of our Florida office, which I never thought I would do that either. And so just learning the ropes with that, it's been good. But the technology and training has been number one right now.
Well, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm glad that Jamie was supposed to do this interview, not me. Well, we'll let you go because I know you're in the middle of stuff, but we're looking forward to seeing you back. I think you come back next week or something like that, right?
I do. I've got clients in town, so I'm going to stop in the office on Friday the 17th. So I hope to see everyone.
All righty. Take care.
Take care. Love you guys. Bye.
Hey, Lance.
Jason.
Tell us about what you've gained and what you think you're taking advantage of and what's been important to you since your transition.
I said to my friend down there at the end of the panel, one day she was walking in her office and I was sitting in mine working on something. And I pulled her in and I said.
He shut the door, by the way.
Yeah, I shut the door and there was a lot of F-bombs flying on my part. And I just said, I am so overwhelmed at this office. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, they're too helpful.
That's not what he said. That's not how he put it.
Yeah, there was a few swear words in there, and I just said, I've never been in 3 companies I've worked for, where the entire leadership group is here to help you, just like what you put up on the slides earlier. It's been amazing, your help and willing to help me with, I'm old, technology's not my thing, and he steps in, makes it seem easy. Having a relationship with Olivia, Jason, I knew Jason when he used to hide down in a little closet in the basement of the Coldwell Banker office here in Burnsville.
I still hide in closets.
And having them around, knowing they're here, they're great people, and then I've known, having Jamie Ogden around too, someone I've known through athletics for years, it's good. And then, again, I hate to talk about the other companies. One is gone for a reason. The other one is still around, but they're shrinking services for agents. They're growing services here for agents. I can't tell you when the last time I was in a brokerage where there's two or three people sitting at the front desk, plus you have all these other people here to assist you with stuff. That's amazing to me. And if I were a new agent I can't say this when I teach at the Minnesota Realty School, but if I were a new agent, I don't know why you would want to go anywhere else with the amount of training that's going on here on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. It's amazing. No other company is doing it. There's no way they are. So for me, that's, did I answer it?
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, I mean, you had such a lengthy experience and you give back so much to the real estate community, so it's really valuable to hear that. I mean, as a teacher and an educator and that, I mean, that's incredible, so thank you.
Yeah, but again, I'm just overwhelmed at the amount of training, classes, and activities that go on within this company. It's amazing.
What do you think, Brian? What are you taking advantage of now that you're here?
Well, I mean, obviously the training's top notch. I mean, I know education, and you're not gonna get better training or education than what we're seeing right here. It just doesn't exist. I subscribe to all of it. It's awesome. It's fantastic. I've literally in 2 meetings got better training than I did in 3 years with my other company. You're amazing. And I know you hate compliments, so I'm just gonna lay it out. I love you. You are a fantastic human being. And I cannot thank you enough. I just absolutely love you to death.
What's something in particular?
How helpful you are with technology and tailor making it to what I want to do. Like you designed a 36-touch plan based on the system, but that fit what I wanted to do. That was great. It wasn't some cookie cutter thing, it fit me. And you took the time to actually talk to me and we problem solved together, and it wasn't like, oh, this is Jason's idea. It was a team effort. And it was great. And there's just so many other instances of that. So thank you, that was huge. How about the fact with my previous company, I never shook hands with the owner. I never had a conversation with the owner, and our owner, I'm on a text thread with. I get text messages at 4:30 in the morning because that's when we're both up. Literally, you're amazing. I absolutely love you. And just everything that you guys have all created here is phenomenal. I mean, I saw it the minute I was here, and it's huge. I can sell real estate with any company. But damn, that KW, those letters. And they're lowercase too, I love that. It's just really good. It's been a great fit.
I'm gonna share an office with this guy.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I am some kind of wonderful. I'll leave it at that. You go ahead, buddy.
Follow that up, would ya?
Well, I'll toot Jason's horn too. I will tell you, it started when we decided to make the decision to make a move here. It was a 2-month transition period for us. We really wanted to take our time and make sure that we had all our ducks in a row before we decided to make that move. And Jason was absolutely instrumental in every piece of that. I can't tell you what a relief it took off my shoulders because if anybody knows me really well, I'm like high anxiety. Like if I got a ton of stuff on my plate, I need to get it off as quickly as possible. And Jason certainly did that, like from transitioning with the whole technology piece, that was a huge part of it. And he just took it off my plate, and I never had that kind of help before, and that was huge. Made our transition so much easier. I think the biggest piece for me, getting here has been the collaboration. So I've had several meetings with different agents in the office, and just the amount of sharing that happens, we're not competing against each other. There's plenty of business to go around and everybody gets that. So it's learning from each other and being able to provide that additional information. Like this morning in the ALC, I shared something that I did in multiple offer situations that I probably would have never shared at my previous company. And I was like, yeah, go for it, use it, like, make it happen.
Thank you.
And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, we're just sharing that knowledge and information with each other that it's completely invaluable. It just kind of brings that business to the next level. And, you know, obviously the leadership team as a whole, like, I have never had so much support in such a short amount of time to be able to just throw an email out to Olivia or a text and say, hey, can you help me out with this and take a look at it? I know she's busy as possible, you know, crazy, all in taken in so many different directions, but to take that few moments, like that's huge, and it's it definitely doesn't go unnoticed. So.
I just want to comment on the collaboration that he was talking about in the ALC meeting today. Literally, we had an agent ask a question about the business that they're doing right now, and a competing agent, in addition to Bryce, offered strategy on how to win a sale. And if you think about that, I mean, they're both offering it. We work for the same company. That is, we are representing both clients. It's a dual agency. That's how that works. But you wouldn't not only see that if, I mean, think about what that means in terms of what you've built, what you've accomplished, that you're willing to share that with each other and bring out ideas and talk with each other about how you can make each other's businesses better. It's just incredible. And you know, for as much as I appreciate the mention to me, it is other people who make that possible. It's a team effort that makes all of this possible. And so when you collaborate with each other, you're winning the game. And on top of that, it makes it easier for you to recommend that to other people as well, because they can come in and see it. So now that I've teed you up a little bit, and I also know that you've kind of been, and Lance to a big extent too, have been on both sides of the fence in an office where not only have you been an agent, but also very in deep in terms of how to run it, how to make things go, whether by title or action. You've been in that space. What do you get here?
I don't even know if I can measure it in a specific word. But if we look at it from our broker, who takes time out to come up every meeting and talk about ethics and how to get your business better, and I got lucky enough, I don't know if everybody else did, but I got a handwritten note from her. Like, that's from a broker who loves on us every single day. That's huge. To Colin, who takes time out on a Tuesday morning, and if you guys aren't popping on that call with him on Tuesday mornings, you're missing out, because he does a phenomenal job of preparing us every day with scripts and just kind of how do you work through scenarios.
And how many years have you been in the business again, Maria, and you jump on that call?
33. Yeah. So, I mean, just touching with that. Toddy, I need help with something. Oh, what do you need? What do you need? It's a little mind-blowing. Like, Lance downplayed it, but that day he came in, he's like, come in here. And I shut the door and I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, what the fuck is going on? What's wrong? And he's like, they're so fucking nice. That's what we're getting here.
That's important.
Let's not put it in the better context.
I like it.
Sorry if anybody's offended by that.
Gary Vee says it best. Just emphasize it.
Sorry if I offended anybody.
I think you owe a couple dollars to the jar.
Do we have a swear jar here?
Oh, yeah.
Do it? Because I'm screwed.
Just hold it in Lance's office.
Okay.
Secondhand swear.
So it's just, I mean, it's everything. I mean, it really is everything. And you're right. Having been on both sides of it, where I was the office that had everybody come to dump my problems on, it's kind of refreshing to dump them on somebody else now. But to have them open the door and say, come in, what do you need? What do you need? What can I do for you? Which is, it's a little mind-blowing.
I'm gonna open it up, just, you know, what other thoughts, or things that I not asked you that maybe I should have about your experience, and if there is anything, that's fine. If there isn't, that's fine too, because I mean, I know it's kind of a weird question, but I mean, you've been here a little bit of while, and part of the goal for all of you out there is to introduce you to some of the things you might not have considered now that, since you're here. And I know that when I used to be in retail, one of the things that was the biggest danger as a retail manager is we see the same thing every day and eventually we just get numb to it because we walk by it all the time and we forget. So it's always good to take that moment and kind of reinvigorate and re-look at it with new and fresh eyes. And that was kind of our goal today, was to provide some fresh eyes on what you see all the time and maybe forget that that's what's going on. But, you know, I might not ask all the right questions. So what do you got? Anything else you'd like to add?
One of the other things when I decided to make the move was, you know, I wanted to build a team here. And part of that was, you know, now I'm branching off. I was on a large team that does a lot of production, lots of different personalities and people. But when I branched off, we talked about what does our team name look like and how does that affiliate with the place that we want to go. And in Integrity Home Group, you know, one of the biggest things that we saw when we came to KW was doing business the right way. I think as agents, especially post NAR settlement, like we have the ability to really make this a profession that people can be proud of. And I think this market center has the ability to be a leader in that. And I can see that, and I could see that when I made the move. You know, we've all dealt with a lot of bad agents over the years, and I say this to new agents all the time, the two hardest things that we deal with in our business is managing the expectations of our clients and dealing with other agents. Those are literally the two different hardest things that we deal with in our job. And so I think being a part of a group that just practices integrity, actually not only preaches it, but practices it, like all around, that was instrumental for me and for us, I think.
I think one thing that I'll plea out to you guys is to tap, if you're not, like I said, if you're not tapping into those calls with Colin on Tuesday mornings, if you're not coming to the ALC meetings, I mean, it is open to all of you guys. I mean, we want to, or at least I'm hearing and I'm living it, they're more interested in what you need than what they want. So if you have something that you need, bring it, and we're gonna figure out how to make that happen for you. And your voice is always heard here. I think that's another piece that is just, it's pretty fantastic. And if people have been at other companies, they understand this. There are many times where you don't get to be heard from your leadership above you, and this is, you are seen and you are heard here. So join in on those things. I mean, come be present at those ALC meetings. I know at the meeting today, there was some discussion about forming some kind of subcommittees out of there. There's gonna be a bunch of us that are gonna be reaching out to people to say, we want you to join this committee. Sarah's gonna be in the luxury, I'm gonna help on the relocation, we're gonna team together. We love the input from everybody to do that. Bryce is gonna be doing technology.
Yeah, we're trying.
So, you know, I mean, we've got lots of opportunities for people to be even more involved than they are right now. So I'd encourage that. I think that's a huge piece of it.
I think if you don't have something else to add, we can open up for like 1 or 2 questions from the gang at large.
If you were talking to somebody who was either newly licensed or maybe not happy where they currently were at, what would you tell them about Keller Williams? I mean, obviously everything, you know, but I mean,
Just come to a meeting. I mean, look, number one, look how many people have showed up today. You know, and this is weekly. That again doesn't happen. But that happens because we have a leadership group, we have owners and people that work for us here. And that just is empowering.
There's value in the meetings,
For sure.
right? Like value is being provided at the meetings to give us a reason to actually want to come. You know, I went to my previous team that I was on, we had all the trainings in the world, but they were geared towards one group of people, and that was new agents. Well, I'm not a new agent anymore. I want more. I want more. I want to build my business. I don't want to plateau. Now, are there trainings for new agents? Absolutely, but there's also training for experienced agents, and there's masterminds, and there's all the different things that we need in order to be successful.
I have a question for the ones that transitioned from another career into real estate. How did you do it if you had a wife and kids? Did you just go cold turkey and say, I sure hope this works, or?
You got an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go after him, but I got a story for you. Once you meet Little Evil, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Give us a snippet, both of you.
Well, there's many different ways to do it. You can take the leap of faith, which is what I wish I would have done. I took the slow method and I worked 2 jobs for a year and a half and saved up 6 months of income before I jumped. And someone told me, you should jump sooner. I should have listened and bet on myself. But I mean, if you're, honestly, that's what I love about this job. If you're willing to work, the sky's the limit.
And I've been in the business for 11 years. I'm actually thinking about my husband, who is
Gotcha.
stuck in corporate America and hates it.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Have it, speaking to that, having a spouse or significant other that can be supportive of that. And this business is not easy by any means. And it is hard to say, you're working nights and weekends and there's all dynamics in there. So having a spouse that can, if you can bring them in to the business, that just makes it way better, to be honest with you.
For me personally, I didn't have a choice to put it into a, to be a little vulnerable here. I was fired from the only job that I've ever been fired from. I was recruited to that place and told to do a specific job, and I did it. And at the end of the day, they let me go 9 months after I took the job, and my whole world was turned upside down. Could I have gone and got a different job that was W-2 and stable? Yeah, absolutely. But I looked at that as that's my opportunity to do something big. And so I did the leap of faith. I just decided, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And then I created my why right away. And I made it push me to do 4 deals in 2 months, just getting my license. And that was that kickstart to say, okay, I can breathe. I've got 4 deals, I've got income, now I need to really hit the pedal and be able to build that business and make it successful.
So did it take you 1, 2, 3, or do you even know, to feel like, okay, I'm back to where I was, if not way ahead?
Well, I got my license in October, so hard spot to get your license, and then as a brand new agent knowing nothing, and then get deals under your belt. So I think I did 2 deals in November and 2 deals in December. But I grinded. I mean, we're talking 16 hours a day. I was on the phone until I got appointments and I got something under contract. I had no quit in me, but I didn't have a choice, right? I was the breadwinner before I lost that job. I lost everything. I didn't have benefits anymore. I didn't have all the things. And while my wife at the time had a job, it wasn't enough to support what we had going at the time. So it was very much a gamble, but one that I thought I can do this because I have no other choice to be successful.
So I had, some of you know this, I wasn't a gymnast, I was a basketball player. And after college, I played in Europe for a little over 14 years. And it's a great gig if you can get it, lived in some unbelievable places. When you wake up in the morning and you pull up your shades and the first thing you see is the Acropolis in the middle of Athens. It's pretty surreal. And woke up to that for 3.5 years. And problem with that, being there for so long and coming back, you're kind of back on the bottom of everything, right? People have forgotten about you, your classmates, your friends. They've all moved on in their careers, and what are you gonna do? I took the first job I could find selling industrial heating equipment, boilers, burners, furnaces, pipe. That's what I sold, pipe. Real sexy stuff, pipe. And covered the 5-state area, Montana and Wyoming, and it just, you get snowed in Bismarck, North Dakota for a few days, you start thinking, this is not what I wanna do. So I have a drive, I have an 8.5-hour drive back to Minneapolis trying to figure it out, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do what Susan's my mother, who's no longer with us, who was a huge agent in South Minneapolis, I mean massive. And she'd always said, honey, go get a real estate license. And I'd always, I'd scoff at her, I'd go, you sell real estate? I got a college degree. It took me 7 years to get it, but I got it. And then I started realizing she was the breadwinner of a huge blended family, by far. And I thought, all right, I'm gonna give this a try. Quit my job, hadn't said anything to my wife Sandy, who Maria has met. And my wife is 5'3", but has personality of someone 7'3", right? There's no, she's opinionated, let's just say. And so my whole thing was, how do I approach this with her? And I just finally said, you know what, I gotta tell her. And I went up to her and I said, hey honey, I quit my job. And I thought she was gonna divorce me on the spot. What? I said, yeah, I'm done working that job. Why? It pays well. And I said, well, yeah, but it sucks. And she goes, well, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna sell real estate. And she paused and she said, okay, you get 1 year to play. Then you're gonna go have to find a real job. And so my whole goal started was, I gotta get a sale as soon as possible. So I went around to the top agents within my company, our office and company, and I would just ask them, what do I gotta do? And some of you might remember this name. She was the president at Coldwell Banker for a long time, Robin Peterson. I actually had a chance to corner her, and I said, I said, Robin, what should I do? She goes, do open houses. And I just, Saturday and Sunday, I was sitting in open houses all the time. And, but my first sale was off the first open house I did. And when I turned that commission check over to my wife, and I handed it to her, and she opened up the envelope. She looked at it and she goes, what did you get this for? I go, well, that was for the house over on West Rustic Lodge in Minneapolis. Actually my grandfather lived on that street. And she looked at that check, how long you been doing this? I said, well, 2 months. And she's like, really? For just doing an open house? I said, well, she goes, you better have your big ass in an open house every day. So now we're going on, 28 years doing this, and I don't know what else I would do. It's a great job. You get to help people, you get to work your hours,
And you still do open houses.
And I still do open houses, yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, that's.
We are a little past the time, and I do know something about every one of these folks, and that one thing is, if you would stop by and ask them any question, they would love to give their time. They have continually proven over time that they're willing to share their time, talent, and treasure with you. So I'm gonna allow you that opportunity as we go forward, and allow everybody to get the opportunity to go spend the rest of their day. But I do wanna say, I wanna introduce Pam, who could have been on this panel, who just joined us yesterday. We're a little late in getting her in, so we didn't get the opportunity to have her up here as well, but she has a very similar story, and I'm sure you'd love to hear it. But I do want to make sure that we give them all a great round of applause, because it is fantastic. And every one of you has a similar story that you could share if you were up here. And we just want to make sure we spread that word and spread it to as many people as we can so that they can share in this. There's no cost. It's free. Well, I mean, it's not free. It's free to you. So let's have that going. Lunch today is free to you, however, and that is bought by our friends Drake and Brian. And let's have a great day. Thank you all for coming today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Thank you. You guys are hard work.
Yeah, maybe we should speed up.